Hello, everyone. Today, I'm here to talk to you about William Byrd. William Byrd was an English composer who was born in Lincoln, England in 1543. He lived during the Renaissance age and is best known today for the development of the English madrigal. Along with the development of the madrigal, Byrd also wrote virginal and organ music, which advanced the English keyboard style. In 1543, William Byrd was born, and as a child, Byrd learned how to play from his piano teacher, Thomas Tallis. Tallis was a world-renowned composer at the time and was a major inspiration to Byrd, which led him into wanting to become a composer. When Byrd was 20 years old, he started playing alongside Tallis for their local church as organist. Byrd and Tallis would then later go on to produce a collection of compositions dedicated to Queen Elizabeth in 1575. After Tallis' death in 1585, Byrd's musical life began to take off. In the few years after his death, Byrd produced 4 collections of his own music. They were all secular compositions, and 2 volumes of them were dedicated to the Lord Chancellor of the Queen, as well as a cousin to the Queen. In Byrd's later and final years, he produced a collection of 3 masses and 2 books for both the ordinary and proper masses. One of Byrd's most famous pieces is the Mass for the 4 Voices. This is the first piece of 3 pieces that he wrote for the Catholic Church. This piece was new to the musical ears of the Renaissance because Byrd used a technique of opening each movement with a reduced number of parts. Byrd also avoided some common techniques that were used in music during this time. For example, he avoided using musical melodies or quotations. He also used simple and non-elaborate kind of text. Byrd did this because he wanted the Mass to feel free to the people. This was never seen before during this time. The Mass for 4 Voices is still used by the Catholic Church today during Mass. This polyphonic piece is made up of a 6-part choir and uses a melismatic melody. This piece is also interesting because it was written as a form of celebration in the Catholic Church, which is extremely common at this time because celebration in the Catholic Church was forbidden by Queen Elizabeth. And here Another one of William Byrd's most famous works is Ye Sacred Muses, which is written after Byrd's lifelong friend Thomas Tallis had passed away. This piece was very emotional and sad, but used strong musical phrases. Byrd also used word painting to get the point across and to announce to audience that his friend and mentor was dead. People say that Ye Sacred Muses is probably Byrd's most sad or depressing concert songs that he had ever composed throughout his time. The mood and tone of the music matches the subject almost perfectly, and it is easy for the audience to feel how Byrd is actually feeling from the loss of his friend. The loss of Thomas Tallis made an enormous impact on the land of England and left everyone with a sad and open heart, including William Byrd. Looking back on William Byrd's legacy, it is easy to conclude that he was like no other during this time. For every piece of work, he wrote extensively, combining old and common techniques with his new techniques that he so often would experiment with. His keyboard piece brought a new feeling and new style to those that surrounded virginal and organ music.